everyone, welcome to Chat and Chill episode 9. I am Fa at International Relations Staff.
I'm Meti Situm, a sophomore student from English major, Faculty of Humanity and Social Sciences. Last time I've been here as a guest, but right now I am a co-host. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, so we're so glad that we invite a student to join as the co-MC today. And today we invite both Thai and international teachers joining to our programs, and we're gonna share about the KKU online education trend in the new normal era. As you may know, nowadays we face many disruptive changes, and one of those is education. And online has radically changed the landscape of modern education. We learning in the new and more changeable environment. Especially today we face the pandemic of COVID-19, and online could insist us. So every university around the world use it as a tool to serve it, including Khon University. So today we want to know from Ajahn to share experience about KKU online teaching. And we here with Ajahn Athavit and Ajahn Vanessa. สวัสดี again ค่ะ
Good afternoon, guys.
So could you please introduce yourself again? Starting from Ajahn Athavit ค่ะ
Okay, so my name's Ajahn Athavit นะครับ I'm from Language Institute.
Okay ค่ะ So what is your nickname นะคะอาจารย์อ้ำ Okay อาจารย์อ้ำ Okay and อาจารย์ Vanessa please introduce yourself.
Hi สวัสดีค่ะ I'mอาจารย์ Vanessa. You can call me Vanessa. It's okay. I think my nickname. Yeah, and I also teach at the Kaen University Language Institute, same as Ajahn Am. Yeah.
Okay ค่ะ Nice to meet you ค่ะอาจารย์
Nice to meet you guys.
So what about your class or teaching recently? Can you share with us? Starting from Ajahn Vanessa.
Oh, okay. Well, for this semester, I've been teaching 8 sections of English classes to I guess it's second year students in levels 6 and 7. So yeah, and they're all online. So it's about 24 hours of teaching online per week. And then I have a few other extra classes that are in person, but that's extra, so it's not about. Yeah, so mostly online.
Okay, what about Ajahn Am?
So since the announcement of the university, the safety measure according to the pandemic, we have shifted from the on-site class, right, to the 100% online. And this is the first semester, and everything is new for all of us, right? And now it's almost a semester, and it's quite like the tension is kind of like more comfortable for me compared to the beginning, using like a lot of technology in the classroom.
But sometimes do you feel tired to prepare something like this?
Tired. Like I'm teaching like 11 sections. 11. So
That's
too
much. Much more than Ajahn Vanessa.
in front of the computer for the whole day. Some day I have class like starting from 9 and then I'm finished at 8:30 p.m. So
Cool.
So I have to organize the class so I can be managed and can teach for long hours.
Okay. Next question is: most of you guys seem to very enjoy with online class. Tell me about the most impressive moment when you guys teach online as a teacher. Start with Ajahn Vanessa.
For me, yeah, I think that I don't know if I enjoy online teaching so much, but I can learn to enjoy some parts of it. I think there's advantages and disadvantages for sure. But like maybe I have gotten a little bit more used to it now over the semester. But for me, the impressive moments are when my students volunteer to speak every time that they every time that they participate, and every time, a lot of things that they will say, or their answers to my questions, or the things they ask me. I'm really impressed when my students will participate in my class, especially when it's online.
Okay.
So,
what about Dan?
For me, I feel like this the student they participate right more. Like once we call them, since we just call them like their name show up on our screen, so it's kind of like easier to call them up, and then once their ID they show up on the screen, so everybody like paid attention to them. It's like it's easier for me to call their student, and I don't have to remember all the names for like because the system already show the name, so it's easier for me to call them. And then like I think they speak more like when I conduct the brainstorming in the class, they share more idea, maybe by texting or maybe by voicing, right? Okay. There's a lot of ways that I change like from time to time in the class.
Okay. Yes. Next question is, as Ajahn Vanessa have said that is the big advantages and disadvantages. Tell me what is the differences between on-site and online class.
Me first.
Yeah.
Again, well, I was thinking it's a lot of it is actually very similar in terms of the challenges, because when we're in the real classroom, we also have a lot of difficulties. Sometimes it depends on the class, but some classes will be quieter than other classes. So I think that a lot of the challenges are very similar in terms of teaching. But it's different for me because I don't feel like I have the relationship with my students that I used to have in the classroom. Is the big thing, I think. So, and I think, for example, I saw a student in Longmore the other day, like a few weeks ago, and I didn't know that he was my student.
Something that I can relate to.
Normally, even if I don't know their name, if I can't remember their name, I can at least remember that they're my student. But he had to tell me that he was in my class, so then now I can remember him. I hope I can remember him again. But it makes me a little bit sad as a teacher. I like to get to know my students a little bit.
Right. Same as me. Like I couldn't recognize my student face. Even like they greet me at the lot more. Like, oh, you were in my class. Like that's my teacher. Like, are you? So I don't know, because like there's some time the internet connection, right, speed is not that it's not good. So I allow my student to turn off their camera while they're having class. So like we set the class the policy of, okay, when I call the student name, they just turn on the camera, because I have them turn it off all the time to like maybe use the internet speed for my voice, or maybe the presentation, the screen sharing, right? Okay. And that's made me like, oh, I never seen some of my student face, and I couldn't recognize them. Okay.
Some student that just mute the microphone and off the camera and went to the bed directly.
That is the of having online class.
Yeah,
A lot
I
of ways
did.
to check whether they are paying attention. So I look random all the time, and then I change a lot of application. Maybe like we have some game, not just Kahoot. We have like quizzes or other that they have to join another platform, and then we can say, oh, this guy they're still online. Why the other like they left for the other application, but this one. Some classes like student they never seen they have the fake picture showing that they are sitting there teacher but actually they were gone somewhere. Okay, that's what happened to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
So
we can tell when no one is. We can tell if the student is not really there at all. We can because like I told my students I have a check plus check minus system. So if they don't answer, they minus. Even if they check in, they cannot get points after that if they don't participate.
Very good. And also for me, I also have the I call it check out activity.
check out activity.
Like if you can do this or can say or make construct like maybe a sentence, so I allow you to go out or leave the classroom, and I check like one by one, something like that.
Oh, serious?
What a strict professor. I see.
So great, so great.
Okay,ค่ะ. So the next questions. What's the current trend or teaching methods that อาจารย์ always use when do the online teaching or use in the classroom nowadays?
What do you call my method? It's online. I think it's just change of the mode of the delivery, from the class to using technology, right? And the interaction are quite different. The mode of interaction are different, but I think once everyone get family, I think it's kind of same. I say it's virtual classroom. It's not that virtual, not something representing them. It's just it's still teacher and student, but the relationship is changed.
All right. Yeah. The relationship has changed.
Yes.
And the class management has been changed. And I think it's more it's support teacher, right, for the class management, since we have a lot of classroom management program. If someone has to use Edmodo or maybe the Google Classroom, it's easier. And some people use Facebook and they set the group as a social learning. So it's kind of like a change from the place that they meet in the classroom to meet on the Facebook or the online platform.
Okay, ค่ะ What about อาจารย์ Vanessa?
Yeah, I think that one of the ones I wanted to share is my English toolbox. Actually, it's not my English toolbox. I found it online a few years ago, but I use it in the real classroom, and I also try to use it in the online classroom so the English toolbox is just 5 questions that you need to ask if you don't understand something. Like, what does that mean? What does that mean? How do you spell that? And can you repeat that, please? And can you speak slower, please? And then how do you say that? Okay, so I use that in the real classroom, and I also use that online, and I think it's really important because I want my students to be able to ask questions, and especially ask questions in English. So and use English as much as possible. So I tell them, we can only use Thai if you're using it in the sentence. How do you say that? And So that was one of the things that's quite similar between the classroom and online teaching. But like Ajahn Ab said, maybe some of the classroom management has changed, like calling people's names every time, because it's if my students volunteer to speak, they'll get check plus. So sometimes I say, who wants a check plus? But normally I'll call on everyone. So everyone usually hopefully gets a chance to speak that every class. And yeah, I wouldn't do that in the regular classroom. So it puts them on the spot a little bit more. But at the same time, maybe they feel more comfortable. Some of them might feel more comfortable talking in a computer. So what else? We have breakout rooms. We have so with Zoom we have breakout rooms, and we have polls. I can put a poll up anytime in Zoom, and I like doing that. The Kahoot game is good, I think. Those are kind of I always ask my students, like, what questions do you have for me after we do a reading or something like that? And if you don't have any questions for me, I'll start to ask you questions. So you have to be ready to answer my questions.
I love your method because as Thai student, although I'm English major student, I don't really know every single lexical word in English. So I think that everyone who study outside English major really love that and is really benefit for all the student in Khon University. Okay, next question. What is the most challenging thing about online teaching in the new normal area? First, begin with Ajahn.
The most challenging thing, since the mode of instruction into online, like ideally we have to trust our student, right? So the assessment is changed. We are not there to proctor them when they are taking the quiz or the test. You're sitting in my classroom with me, so I know that you won't be cheated on the exam, right? But you are there. You are. I don't know whether you are with your friend or not, right? Maybe you ask someone to help because I don't see your screen all the time. Maybe you text your friend. Maybe you have another device with you, and then you call someone to help. That happens. So we have to set the balancing of the assessment to be more performance assessment. What I mean by performance assessment is like we're gonna evaluate the student whether they do something, whether they can do something based on like whether they can speak this topic or not, whether they can write. Okay, so like we tend to have this kind of assessment more than in the past. Because like since it came, so we have to change the way of assessment as well, and we have a lot of programs. Like for example, one-on-one, like impromptu, like speaking, or maybe they can pre-recorded their speaking as well. So we tend to give more score on this part more than taking the quiz.
So like
I did role play so much. All of my professor that aside the role play that you have to do them some role play for us. Yeah, that's true.
And like for writing, I asked them to do like thank you. We have like the Google Doc and ask them to show that like invite me to look at their writing. So like I wait often. I don't know, like I don't let them do outside of the class time because I don't know whether they're gonna hire someone or ask someone to do the writing for them. Okay.
Yeah, I see. This is very good method. Okay, what about Ajahn Vanessa? What is the most challenging in your class?
This is again similar to my classroom teaching, but actually it got worse for when I'm online. I think it's always for me balancing like participation in my class with the time. So we have a limited amount of time to get through the material. And I think for teaching online, it makes it quite a bit slower if we're getting the students to participate, because we have to repeat the question sometimes, 3 times if we're asking a question. And maybe that's because my students are not paying attention, or I'm not sure if it's because they just don't understand, So maybe if I was speaking Thai, I could blame them that they are not paying attention. But since I'm speaking English, I can't. I just have to be patient and say it again and again. But I think that actually it got a little bit better over time. But in the beginning, I definitely had to repeat things many times. So yeah, I just have the challenge for me is to get through the material and make sure my students understand it before the quiz. Yeah.
Okay. We have heard that the opinion of the professor that as a student, one of my problems is that the internet is not stable because sometimes the live and out, I just, oh my gosh, my quiz is coming, and then the live and out, and I just, just die for a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, speaking of the technical problem, I won't see is as a problem in the online education because it can be fixed very soon. It can be fixed very soon since we have maybe more, maybe in the next 5 years, maybe 5G, we have 6G or 7G, who knows, right?
Yeah.
And everything is getting better. So I won't see it's the problem for my class, for the technical problem.
Okay. In the next 5 years, maybe I can pursue my master degree in my house, but from the US.
It's happened already. Yeah, it's happened already. For you can pursue a degree in the maybe university in the US, right? With the distance education, program. They have that for a long time, but it's not recognized yet by Thai government.
Yeah, by Thai government. So, Ajahn Khao, what was the difficulties that you face when do online teaching? What's the problem or difficulties that you face?
For me, difficulty is I have to devote more time in grading and giving feedback because the student is not face to face that we can manage one by one like this. We have to spend more time writing the feedback, or maybe spend time outside of the class, maybe as an appointment for them, but meeting online to give them the feedback because I have a very big classroom, so maybe 40 to 50 students in my class, so it takes a lot of time to give the feedback.
Okay, so it's about the time. And what about Ajahn Vanessa? What's the problem or difficulties?
I guess other than the time that I talked about earlier, for me personally is difficult because almost everything I do now is in front of the screen. So in the past, I could get away from the computer to teach, but now, since teaching is in front of the computer, grading is also in the computer, and my other jobs, I have to do editing and things like that, they're also in front of the computer. So tech personally is quite challenging for me to manage my time on the computer because everything has to be done. And it hurts my eyes, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I see.
Okay. Next question. What is the future skill that both teachers and learners should have in the disruptive technology area? You understand?
Starting from
Can you say your question again?
what's the future skill that both teacher and learner should have in this era?
Era.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I won't say the teacher skill. What I want them to have the skill right now is the computer skill. The computer skill. At least Google skill, or maybe
Very
YouTube. They are the generation that everything is ready on the internet. They have a lot of resources, but like how can we have them learn how to learn those resources that available online already, and they should be able to learn by themselves. Like the goal of the education, they must be autonomous to learn by themselves with the guide from the teacher. So that is the challenging for me. That is the only thing that they have to use the technology to learn, not the technology won't disrupt them. Right now, technology will disrupt them if they don't know how to use.
Like starting from the basic skill first.
Yes. Don't talk about like something very far from that.
Okay.
Okay.
But mostly the soft skill. I would say the soft skill are very important, like problem solving, collaboration, like team working. It's also important. So we kind of like set the task or assignment to practice, to have the student practice these skills. Even they learn online, so they have to collaborate with friends to do like these tasks.
It's going to be much easier. I think
Yes.
that's doing something with friends.
Yeah, but
And how about
it's quite challenging for the teacher to design tasks and feedback.
Yeah, right.
For them to have these skills.
How about you, Ajahn Vanessa?
It's gonna be kind of similar to what Ajahn Am was starting to say about like their 21st century skills. So, but for me, I'm not worried about students in their ability to use any app. I think that students will be, or younger people than me can do anything on apps in terms of technology. But yeah, I'm more worried about the skills like communication, creative thinking, critical thinking. These are the things that I think, and like if you talk about disruptive technology, it's going to change our world, right, in every way. So I think the young people and me as well, we have to be able to take leadership roles and decide how we want to use the technology and not just always respond, but decide, this technology is good in this way, and this is how we can use it to further our goals. We don't have to see it as an obstacle only. So yes, I think that I agree with Ajahn. It needs to be like critical thinking, communication, and creativity, leadership.
Okay.
Last but certainly not least, other than the very, very basic skill, what a piece of advice that you guys want to give to all the teachers and the learners, maybe outside KKU for everyone?
Like give some recommendation or suggestions about learning online or teaching online in KKU or maybe outside KKU that you wanna give to us.
I would say like patient and focus, like pay attention. Like sometimes I always attend a lot of academic conference online, but like I feel my student like sitting in front of the laptop and like sitting to listening to the lecture, and it's quite boring. So I know like sitting learning in front the laptop for a long hour like would be very, very tired. So like be patient.
Be patient is important.
Yeah, and make yourself like active and participate all the time. Okay.
We have to be ready, prepare. Okay. How about you, Ajahn Vanessa?
I think my suggestion, I will think I will be idealistic for a moment. I think that for my suggestion, I would like to see all of us think outside the box a little bit about how we can use technology. So, like, because I was thinking earlier about this question, or about all of your questions, and in the past, when we were teaching in the classroom, I felt like I always wanted to find a way to get my students outside the classroom, you know, even though I don't have that power really, because I have to get through the curriculum. But I always thought, oh, we need to get out of the classroom to learn. We should be in the real world, right? Somehow. But for now, we are outside the classroom. But I think that we're missing the classroom. At least I was for a long time. And so I realized that maybe we should see it as an opportunity, that, we don't have to stick to the classroom methods, and we should try to think imaginatively, think creatively. But I think it will take some like initiative from the whole faculty, or whatever organization you are in. Like, we should be able to sit down and talk about how we can use it to our advantage. Yeah, for example, like, we're online now, so we should be able to talk to someone in America. We can set up an interview and some for our students. But this is a very big thing because obviously we have thousands of students, so we have to think about how we can take advantage of it for everybody. And and like, project-based learning is something that I want to see more of, which is where you're really building the curriculum from the project and not just from the content. So we do some projects at LI, but I think we can make it more of a main thing. That's just my opinion. But I think it's going to go the other way. I think it's going to be more like testing more. I don't know. Yeah.
Let's see how can they change or not.
Yes.
So before we leaving today, we still have one more activity.
Yes, for someone who is viewing us right now from live broadcast, yes, we have a very special gift for you guys.
How many people are watching us right now?
Max and Bruce. But you have to answer a question from both professor. Yes.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Ajahn, please give one question.
One question from you guys.
What is the ideal goal for learning online? Okay. I already mentioned. Okay, I already mentioned.
What is the ideal goal of online
goal of education?
goal?
Yes.
And okay.
Is anyone want to answer on our live? Yeah, I will write the question. What's
the ideal goal of online education?
Online education. Oh, education.
Okay. Next question, Ajahn Vanessa. Could you please ask your question?
Oh. Well, my question is sort of related to my suggestion. I want to know if you could do any English project, then online, and any online English project, what project would you want to do?
Okay.
If you should do any online project.
And don't think about your skills or anything like that, or resources. You have all the resources, all the money. What would you want to do?
Okay.
Would you want to do?
Okay, for those who can answer us right now, maybe you guys can give a comment and then our staff gonna contact you directly after our live
So
broadcast.
maybe give them some
Maybe
time to
someone is
think.
busy with their online class right now.
You can answer by typing
Mhm.
here. In comment. Okay, we waiting someone to answer.
Yes, we hope that we can give all our gift to you guys. we cannot take it because we want it. Okay.
But if I ask you,
Mhm.
Nong Methi, because you're still the student, you can help us answer Ajahn question first.
Mm.
What is the ideal goal of online education?
Yeah, what as a teacher, what do I expect my student? I don't want like maybe I'm teaching English. Okay, English is just a medium of communication, right? What do I expect more than that?
Mhm. How to be responded actively and just enjoy with patience and don't be lazy for each
Okay.
class. Yes, that's all. That's all my experience with class because yes, as you guys have said that as a student I have a problem too because we have to get up late. We have more time to spend on bed, but that is make us is more like lazy to join the class. But yeah, I have to be much more patient. Yeah,
Patient and more thing.
more active.
Tell the answer? Can I tell the answer? Maybe we
Yeah.
can wait, right? Because
Mhm.
Yeah.
the audience, okay, they will get the reward. Okay, I will leave the answer to you, and maybe if someone like after the program they contact you to answer, maybe we can give them the reward later.
Yes. So if right now there's no one answer, it's okay. Maybe they can answer later, and we will contact them to get the reward later.
Okay.
It's okay,ค่ะ.
It's okay.
So all right, today, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
both
much for
Ajahn
being with us.
to help us. And we hope that you will get some time to take a rest from online teaching.
Yes, I have got a lot of SY. Maybe I can apply to all my class because I have to study every single day too. Yes.
And we will upload this video again at our IAD YouTube channel.
Yes.
Okay,ค่ะ.
We can watch this.
So thank you so much for
Thank
your
you so
time.
much. For both of you, ขอบคุณครับ
ค่ะ